Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to the How to Build series where we're going through every single champion in the game and I'm putting together a quick reference guide for newer players who just want a little guidance on how to build someone, how to use them, where to use them, things like that. So I won't be doing masteries and later game builds because that gets a little specific based on how you want to use someone. So again, just pointing people in the right direction with a particular champ if they decide they want to use them. So let's go ahead and take a look at Slasher, a rare attacker in the Lizardman tribe. Base HP is not bad. Base attack's pretty nice, 1330 basically. Speed 94, a little, just slightly on the low end, but really not that big of a deal. So pretty nice little base stats on him. Let's take a look at his kit and see what he's got going on. Okay, just a very straight up attack. Nothing, no debuffs, nothing special to worry about, just attack. So that leads me to believe the multiplier on it might be decent, which means he may be able to do decent damage. But let's see what else he's got going on. Second skill, attacks one enemy 2 times. Has a 25% chance of placing a 30% decreased defense debuff for 2 turns. Okay, so he's got a defense break in the kit, which is nice. However, we just looked at Slasher, I think it was, who has the first turn defense break. So, you know, second skill defense, like a defense break that's on cooldown, that's not AoE, generally, it's just going to have a lot less utility, right? You're going to have to kind of sit around and wait on him to get this defense break up, and then he might not land it, you know what I mean? Your accuracy roll might not go well, and he might not land it, and then you got to wait another 4 turns. So there's probably better options if you're looking for a defense breaker. But let's see what his third skill has going on. Maybe it'll redeem him a little bit. Places a 15% crit rate buff and a shield buff on this champion for 2 turns. The value of shield is proportional to this champion's defense and crit damage. Grants an extra turn. Okay. So we have an attack champ with a defense break who can put a shield on himself relative to his own defense and crit damage. I appreciate what they were going for here. I think they were just trying to do something interesting and unique, and they accomplished it. I just don't think it has a ton of utility. There is no reason to try to stack defense on this dude to make his shield better. That's just silly. He's got really low crit damage too. Generally, it seems like it's always 50 or 57 down here. So to give him something that scales off his crit damage and then punish him in his crit damage seems like a strange move for this champ. I'm going to tell you before I go into ways that you could build him, I'm going to tell you probably don't bother. It's been a while since I've had to say that, and I really hate to have to say it in these videos. I always try to come up with a way to avoid that, but I just feel like this guy's going to be a waste of time and resources. He's just not doing enough for any fight in particular. I can't even think where I would take him if I was going to use him. He's just doing a lot of things that don't matter. There's nothing interesting about the skill. He's contributing nothing to the fight except a little bit of damage. It's a first skill. He's a rare attacker. The multiplier is probably not that high, if we're going to be honest. So he's probably not going to do a ton of damage there. We've got a second turn 30% defense break. So we've got the weaker defense break with a 4-turn cooldown that might not land. And then we've got this skill that really just doesn't make any sense, if we're going to be honest. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. It's cool that it grants him an extra turn so he can crit rate buff himself, but for what? You know what I mean? For what? He's not. Nothing he's got indicates that he's going to be hitting real hard anyway. So there's really no point in the crit rate buff, and the shield just makes no sense to me at all. The whole thing around the shield makes no sense to me. So my advice is don't bother. If you would like to bother, if you think he looks cool and you just want to use him anyway. Speed is always going to be important in most cases, so we're going to want to put a speed set on him, and speed is a main stat on the boots. And then it depends on what you want out of him. If you want him to land this defense break, then you're probably going to want to work an accuracy set into the mix as well. Either way, I think we're probably going attack percentage as a main stat on the armor. So then the gloves is going to be where it gets interesting, where you can decide what you want to do with them. You can either go attack percentage on the gloves, you can go crit damage on the gloves if you want to try to boost this shield up and see how that works for you. I guess you could go defense on the gloves as well and see which one scales more. Wouldn't make a lot of sense, but if the shield is what's making them interesting to you, then you could try it and see how it scales. So yeah, probably attack set, accuracy set, speed set. Speed is a main stat on the boots. Attack percentage is a main stat on the armor. Crit damage or attack as a main stat on the gloves is what I would suggest. If you want to try the defense route, go for it. And then in your substats, I would be looking for attack, speed, accuracy, crit rate, crit damage, and defense. If the shield is what's interesting to you. So you can see, for someone who's bringing almost nothing to a fight, he's very stat hungry. He's going to be very hard to build and very hard to get anything out of. So as far as where to use him, your guess is as good as mine. I guess dungeons. And hope he lands the defense break on the bosses. That's about it. That's about it. Not a super interesting champ actually. So kind of a bummer. Like I said, I don't really like it when I have to do these ones where I have to talk bad about a champ, but I just don't see much use for him. So I guess we're gonna wrap it up for Slasher. If you have any questions about him, drop them below. Any comments? Maybe you've got a Slasher and you're using him and he's amazing, and I'm missing something here. Feel free to let us know. You know, like I said, more information is always nice to have. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm not seeing it. So yeah, that's going to do it. Hope it was helpful either way, and I'll see you guys in the next video.